How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I am really excited because it's Monday. I've been waiting all weekend. I've been excited to see how the market opened with the hopes of stimulus from the House. With all the red last week, we kept on buying the dip last week, and I'm pretty excited because almost everything is green today. And I want to go through a new SPAC that I need to cover because it's kind of a rival to a SPAC that I already own. So I want to hit on that. It's a space SPAC. It's like the little brother of SpaceX, the big brother of Astra. Now, it's going to be an interesting company, but before we get into that, I just want to say, for everyone that made it through last week, great job. The market was really rough, and it was tough for a lot of people. I know personally, I heard someone say that they were quitting investing after last week, and that's where it just hurts to hear that, on a week where we had 5 days that were red, and not even every day was red. We just saw red for a week, and it really got people thrown into a funk. So, that's why I talk about my Patreon a lot, because I think having someone there saying, okay, we're going to get through this, it's going to be fine, just, throw a little bit of money in a day without giving financial advice, of course, is really helpful. I think, especially for newer investors or people that have even larger dollar amounts that are a little bit further in, just need that mental kick in the butt a little bit to keep them positive, because really, unless you're retiring really soon, red days are typically good. That means that you can buy the dip. So if you guys want, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. It is a new month, so you can definitely sign up. This is the best time to sign up. You get a full month. Just click on that down there. There are over 400 people in there. Definitely check it out. I tell you exactly what I buy and sell, and I was buying a company today. So we picked up a lot of companies last week too, but I want to cover the one today and why I bought it. Also, there is a link down there to WeBull. In case you deposit $100, you can get some free money. I believe it's up to $1,850. And, I've personally gotten a free share of Facebook on there, so definitely check that out if you're interested. There's also a link down there to BlockFi in case you want interest on your cryptocurrency. It seems like almost everyone on YouTube, all the big guys on YouTube are now using it, and we've been using it for a couple months too. I heard someone that was in crypto, has a whole crypto channel, around 600,000 subscribers, say that there's literally no reason not to put money into GUSD, which is what I have a lot of my money in, which pays 8.6%. Now, of course, there are some risks, there are some rewards, but it's a very, very, very minuscule risk if you ask me. So definitely check that out if you're interested down below. They pay a bonus too. In the past, I've talked about Holicity. This is a company that is merging with Astra. Just recently came out, there's going to go through a SPAC merger. The CNBC says, alongside SpaceX and Rocket Labs, Astra represents the third U.S. company that has begun since the turn of the century to privately develop a satellite launch system and successfully reach space. This company is one that is really third in line as far as I can tell in what they're trying to do. I think this is going to be something that's more important over time. And what this company and the company that we're going to talk about here in a minute is trying to do is they're trying to help different companies launch their satellites very cheaply and very efficiently, just with small satellites. Now, they give some different companies here that might want to do that. They're expecting this market to grow very quickly. And right now, last year we had about 4,000 satellite launches. Next, by 2029, they're expecting about 10 times this number. So it's going to become a bigger and bigger part of the market. They say $100 billion launch revenue over the next decade, and I don't imagine that will slow down anytime soon. This company, it has some government contracts, and I've been excited about it in the past. This was really the only company that we had that was similar to this. They have some government contracts. They compare themselves to SpaceX and Rocket Labs and Virgin Orbit for how long it took them to achieve launch capability. Orbital launch capability. They have this NASA contract that there's some big news on it last week, actually, that they actually got a NASA contract. There's the 5 government customers that they have. So they're expecting $4 million worth of revenue in 2021. They're expecting this to ramp up to 67, then 256 the year after that. This company is right around a $2 billion, $2.1 billion pro forma enterprise value. Now, this is up a little bit because it's really like a $3 billion since it's up at $15. But the company we're talking about today is Rocket Labs. If you remember, I talked about how SpaceX and Rocket Labs and Astra were commented on from CNBC. And Rocket Lab seems to be the big brother. Right now, they just announced that they are going to go public in a SPAC merger with Vector Acquisition Corp, VACQ, and it's up 25% pre-market. This is going to be valued a little bit higher, but they are a lot further in than Astra right now. So they've already had 97 satellites go up. They've had 18 successful launches to space. They have 3 launch pads built. They already have some better statistics than Astra. Now, of course, you always have to look at both of the 2 different presentations if you're trying to compare these, because some things are left out in certain presentations just because they don't really want to compare on certain different statistics. So right now, this company already is working with some governments also. You can see, though, they're valued around $4 billion, and that's at $10 a share. So it's really valued around $5 billion. So you're paying about a 66% premium for this company. But take a look at where they're at in revenue already. In 2019, they already had $48 million. 2020, they were hit kind of hard with the pandemic. But you can see they already have the numbers that Astra is trying to hit 2 years from now. So they're expecting to be at a higher revenue now. They're not expecting to grow quite as quickly, but they already have a little bit more under their belt. They're already a little bit more mature. So I think that this company is an interesting one to look at. Now, they might not grow as quickly because of the fact that they already are more mature, but they are a little bit of a safer play in this sector. And don't get me wrong, I still like HOL. I still like Astra. But I trimmed this position just a little bit. And honestly, if I wasn't saving up so much for a house, I would have just kept this and then added to the other position, VACQ. But I trimmed my position on Holicity a little bit. So I had 70 shares before. I sold off 20. And then I put that into VACQ. And then I also bought another 50. So I have 70 shares of Vector Acquisition. And I have 50 shares of Holicity. So I wanted a little bit more of a sure play, but I still like Holicity. I still think whenever we get big contracts, whenever people see NASA in the name of some contract that was just given, they're going to buy it. I think these companies are going to be great to hold for the next 10 years. They're companies that are doing something that very few companies can. And unless SpaceX goes public, I think these companies are kind of going to dominate this kind of market, this sector of the market. And I'm just excited to hold both of them. I'm excited. I think, again, you're going with either one that's a little bit more established, that has a little less upside, or you're going with one that's a little bit riskier, but it has more upside. So I think either are good, but I am going with both. I'm taking a dual approach to this. Now, of course, we could see some red in the market. Who knows? These could fall a decent amount. We saw that last week. We saw whole go down all the way down to $13. So just be on the lookout for these. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. So just wanted to get this out to you guys early, though, so that way you could take advantage as soon as possible. Thank you guys. Again, there are links down there to Patreon, WeBull, BlockFi. And if you guys want to see my last video on Astra to go a little bit further in depth, I'll put it up here on the end screen. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.